Y'all see the moderate clap? That's what that is. You know how they got the slow clap? Like, this is moderate clap. I'm giving a little bit of a moderate clap right now. Not an over excessive, like, let's go. Just a moderate. You know why I'm giving them that? Because I'm very optimistic from what I'm hearing from Sheila Ford Hamp. Sheila, you could end up being my favorite Ford. Let me just say that. I'm just going to go out there and throw it out right now. We'll see how this works out. But I like what I'm hearing. So there was a memo put out today from Sheila Ford Hamp on what the Detroit Lions are doing with their general manager and head coaching search. Kind of just a little update. And we're going to read through that memo today, but I'm liking what I'm hearing. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here, and we got a long way to go before the Detroit Lions decide who their next head coach and who their next general manager is. We still got Bevell with an opportunity, 3 more games to continue to try to prove himself as the next head coach. So we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know if the Lions are going to hire a head coach first, a GM first. We're not sure. But we continue to get these little kind of notes. Like the first note we got was that the Lions would hire their head coach first. We'll see if that rings true or not. But then we get this little memo here from Sheila Ford Hamp. And this has some really interesting information if you really dig deep into it. And I'm liking what I'm hearing. So let's react to this together. Let's see what this had to say. It says this. This is what the memo had to say from Sheila Ford Hamp. This staffing change brings lots of work with it. Definitely. Rod and I, our advisors, take very seriously. We are already deeply into researching top candidates for a head coach and GM. Okay, let's stop right there. So they're already diving into tons of candidates. Hey, so are we. Not really head coach. We haven't done that many head coach. We've done like maybe 1 or 2. I think we've only done 1. We've done some GM candidates. We actually did another one today who the Lions are going to interview next. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. But yeah, so they're diving into it, which is great. You know, be prepared. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's figure out some candidates. I like to hear that. Do your own research, man. Do your research. Figure out who you want. It's your team. Let's do it then. Do your research. Feel good about who you hire. Don't have some dude tell you who to hire. Feel good about who you hired. Make that decision. Do your research. And then it says this. And as the recent internal memo stated, have already interviewed several in-house candidates for the GM job. Okay, we talked about that within the injury report. If you guys missed it, it was the final injury report. I think that was on Friday. But basically, the Lions interviewed 3 in-house members currently on their staff for the next GM position. Now, I don't really think they're going to hire any of those guys, but you might as well do it. There's not many people you can actually interview right now because most of those people are still have a job somewhere else. So it just makes sense that you would interview the people in-house just to see, you know, how they are, what their personalities like, what their thoughts are, their visions. Why not? I mean, you might as well. You got really nothing else to do. You can't interview anybody else. And that's why they're going to interview Rick Smith, who we talked about in today's video, which you guys can again check out, which is already up. But he doesn't have a job right now. So he's another one of those guys that the Lions can go interview because he doesn't have a job. But there's not tons of those options. The process will play out over the next 6 weeks or so. Okay, so don't expect any kind of crazy decisions for at least 6 weeks or so. That's a pretty long time, but it makes sense. I mean, the season's got 3 weeks left. You're kind of talking, you know, tail end of the playoffs, that kind of thing. So 6 weeks or so. So who knows when we're going to see it, but I'm okay with that. Take your time, you know. Do valid research. Don't just rush it. Don't just be like, I love this guy, take it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're buying something, you don't want to just buy the first thing you like because you're like, I like this, I want this. Look around a little bit. Check on Amazon, check on eBay, check on Walmart. You might find a better deal. You may be like, oh, wait, hold up. This is a better deal. I'm glad I didn't buy that other one because then you see it later and you're like, oh, dang, I messed up. I spent $20 extra on this thing, right? This thing's worth it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you check around a little bit. Make sure you know everything about everything before you make a final decision. This is a big decision, all right? This is like the election. This could be another 4 years or more. Hopefully more, right? Hopefully this is something that's, you know, consistent and stable from the top. With the result being a well-vetted and proven head coach / GM. Okay, stop right there. Sheila Ford Hamp, there's the moderate claps again. That is what I like to hear. Thank you. Thank you. I just want somebody that's had some experience. I have no problem with someone that doesn't have experience. But I would prefer someone with experience. It doesn't mean they'll hire somebody with experience, but that's what they're looking for in either the GM or head coaching position. And I'm perfectly good with that. Just give me at least one of them that's done their job before. If we're going to hire a head coach, maybe hire me a head coach that's done it before. If you're going to go hire a general manager, maybe give me a general manager that's done it before. And right now with the GM search, isn't that what it looks like? I mean, all the guys have been rumored to him. John Dorsey. I can't think of the other guy now on top of my head. But there's been like 3. And then we talk about Rick Smith today. All those guys, former general managers. Ed Dodds, not a former general manager. How about head coach? Now, these are a little bit tougher, more college ranks. You can look there. You got a lot of college guys like Lincoln Riley or Jim Harbaugh's, maybe Urban Meyer if you want to come back. A lot more college there. Then you got the guys in the NFL that could be fired. You got your Doug Peterson, which I don't know if I'd really be interested in that. Whatever, we'll get into that later. But I'm definitely fine with that. Just give me one that's done it before. That way he has a vision. He has a clear-cut plan of where he wants to go with these things. He's done it before. It's not, oh, new experience for me. What are we doing here? How do I do this? That's concerning. That's very concerning to me. Other franchises, I think that's fine. But I think the Lions, and we've went through the numbers. I don't need to keep repeating it, but we've went through it, that the most successful head coaches in our history have done it before. The Lions just need someone with a plan. And that doesn't have to be a head coach. That can mean you can go hire a coordinator. Or you can keep Bevell, who's an interim. But maybe give me a GM that's done it before. That way he knows, if he helps you with the head coaching search, that way he knows what he's looking for. Or you guys can build a plan together of a guy that's had this play out before. He knows what works and what doesn't work. It doesn't mean he has to have the greatest resume. At least you know what works and what doesn't work. Trying to catch up to speed as soon as you step in where your first year is just figuring everything out. We can't have that in Detroit, man. We got to hit the ground running. We got to get this thing going. And they could be in a weird position, the GM and head coach, with Matthew Stafford. So I would love to have a guy that has a vision, that's done it before, that has that at least experience. Just have the experience. All right, their most successful coaches at least had experience, and that's what we've seen so far with the GM searches. All the guys tied with the Detroit Lions have been a GM before, so you can definitely tell that's where the Lions are looking. And when I hear that, I'm like, yes, Lions. That's what I like to see, man. I love that. That's what I like to see. That can finally take the Lions where they all so earnestly wish to go, to the top. And then she leaves that. Hey, top, like loud, like exclamation point. Hey, look, I love to hear that. All right, I love her, excitement over this. This is great. This is a great opportunity for her. So she should definitely take full advantage of this, get super involved. We know she wants to be very hands-on as an owner. That was her goal, but this year was kind of weird because of the COVID stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I want to hear. This is 100% what I want to hear, that they're interested in someone that's at least done it before. Again, I don't care if we go hire a coordinator. That's fine. But then maybe give me a GM that's done before. Just give me at least one of those positions that has some idea of what's going on. We went with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. Neither of those guys have done their job before. Bob Quinn was never GM. Matt Patricia was never head coach. So Patricia, his first year, was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to be a head coach. I'm trying to figure out how to set up a practice. I'm trying to figure out all this little stuff about the locker room. Because it's not about scheme then. I mean, it's just such a different job. It's not just, okay, hey, how can I scheme to get our defense to work? No, you're the head coach. You got to be able to hire other coaches. You got to be able to do all these deep things. All the players are buying into what you're saying. They believe in you. You got to get all that right. All of that comes before a scheme. It's just such a different job when you're a head coach. And as a general manager, oh man, you got a lot of responsibilities. Again, it looks like the Lions are probably going to hire GM. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll go with the head coach that's had experience and he'll do both. Who knows? But maybe they keep a guy like Darrell Bevell. As Darrell Bevell stays, maybe you give me a general manager that's done before. Again, every general manager that we've talked about so far, I believe every single one we've talked about, and that's actually been tied to the Lions, because Ed Dodds wasn't, but guys that have actually been tied to the Lions, either rumors or the guys they're going to interview soon, have been a GM before. So to me, I'm excited to see that. I just want someone that's had some experience somewhere in one of their positions. That way, it's not just completely kind of shooting a shot in the dark and just hoping that they can make it work because they're good at other things. That's not what we need. We need someone that's going to build a culture here, that's going to instill something in Detroit, and it's like, hey, wait, I've done this before. All right, there is no feeling out process. I know what's going on here. Let's make this thing happen. That's what Detroit needs. Detroit needs that kind of guy. There's a lot of those guys out there for GM and for head coach, but I really do like to hear that. So that's the little memo that we got from Sheila Ford Hamp. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. To me, I'm happy to hear that. Proven. The word they use is proven. And man, you guys know I'm happy because I've been pushing that for a while now. I've just been pushing a proven coach or GM. And it's not necessarily that, oh, I hate all coordinators. I don't hate all coordinators. I just know what the Lions have been good with. I just know what's worked with Detroit historically. And I just think that's what the Lions need in their locker room. And maybe Darrell Bevell, you can get a guy like Bevell. Look, Bevell is an interim head coach. And I think, again, interim head coaches in the Lions history have been extremely successful. Those and former head coaches have been the most successful in Lions history. So maybe Bevell is successful here. Awesome. That'd be awesome. Maybe he's the next Wayne Fontes. Who knows? Then maybe you give me a GM that's done before and they can line their vision up together. She hoped football and non-football operations will work as one under the next regime and praised the team's recent play on the field. Hold up. Praising the team's recent play on the field. It was clear Coach Patricia's system was not working for the Detroit Lions. We have important games left this season, and we are confident that Coach Bevell and the team are connecting in a very positive way. As we were leaving the Bears Stadium after last week's win, we heard thunderous applause and laughter flowing out of the Lions locker room, something we have not heard in a long time. And even after the hard-fought loss to the Packers yesterday, it was evident the team played with heart and never gave up. Sheila, thank you! Sheila! Are you trying to become my favorite forward this quickly? That's what I like to hear. She's looking deeper than just, okay, we lost, this is bad. Yes! It doesn't mean Daryl's got to be your next head coach, but he deserves a legitimate shot here. And clearly these last 2 games have been different. This is great. This is, as Lions fans, this is what we should want to hear. We want to hear them going out there doing the research, saying, hey, we've been working on this for a while, we're going to continue. This could go on for 6 weeks. We're going to be diving into every single candidate. We're going to be interviewing everybody in our path, anybody that we think have a legitimate shot of becoming our next GM or head coach. Then we're going to give our guy, Darryl Bevell, head coach, a chance. And she was able to recognize that after the Packers game, just because they lost differently, right? This team was fighting. They never gave up. They played with heart. This is what you want to hear as a Lions fan. A hands-on owner. The Warriors, and they were playing, who they playing? I watched the Warriors' first preseason game this season. I think it was a couple days ago. One of the front office guys, I can't remember who it was. They were one of the front office people, but he's up there clapping, he's cheering, he's talking about the money they're spending for the team. I mean, the guy's like a fan. He's so involved. And you know how much success Golden State has had. Like, that's what I would love to have here, man. An owner that's that involved, that she loves it like us fans do. When we are reacting, we're yelling at the refs and we're freaking out. We're saying this isn't good enough, or we're happy, or we're cheering. I want the owner to feel that way times 10, because this is her team. Like, hey, this is acceptable or this is unacceptable. Let's make it happen. I'm going to spend my day and night tirelessly finding our next guys, because we know how important this is. This is great news. This is the type of article that when I saw it, I was like, yes. Just flat out, yes. Now we'll see who the Lions hire. I'm hoping they make the right hire. It's difficult to judge right away. It's like a draft. When you grade a draft pick right away, you're like, oh, that's a terrible pick. And then he turns out good, or you're saying, that's a great pick. And then the guy's just not good at all. And it's like, okay, well, I missed that one. Kind of have to grade drafts like 4 years later. Otherwise, it's not that fair. Maybe kind of the same thing with coaching, at least a year after, or 2 years maybe. You can't just really grade them right after. I mean, you can, but a lot of times it's going to come back like, oh yeah, we were off on that one. We all do it. I do it all the time. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm just excited to hear this. I want to share this with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Are you kidding me right now? I had to put my helmet on for this one. Are you kidding? Look at this. Look at all these members. What? Yo, hey, shout out to all the members, man. Look how many All-Pro members there are. Like, literally, it's the whole screen, dog. This is crazy. The patrons, of course, the Hall of Fame members, man. Y'all got the gold color. It's kind of yellow, but it's supposed to be gold. Shout out to all the members, man. If you want to be a part of this, all you got to do is join the channel. But there are perks that come with it. Stay locked in the community tab if you are a member, because that's where a lot of information comes out. I appreciate all of you. What?